Just play disciplined football.
All right, it's a beautiful fall night for high school football. We got a great game coming your way. So glad you're with us. We'll have the kickoff coming up when Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George DMD and Associates, returns right after this. All right, welcome back to Max Reed Field. The game underway. Middletown won the toss, deferred to the second half. So Tolman taking over here to start the game on offense. And we pick it up with third down and 7 for the Tigers. As we mentioned in the start of our streamed portion of the show, we're talking about how there's playoff implications here. Both teams coming in Division II with a 2-4 record. Just 2 games to go to determine their playoff fate. So winning out for the next 2 games, and then of course they'll have the Thanksgiving Day games coming up. But this game and the next one next week, equally important for both teams. All right, third down with Noah Taylor running the offense for the Tigers. Looks to pass, and that one completes. It's going to be short of a first down.
Taylor's pass complete, number 4, Jaheim Tavares.
3 pass plays to start there for Noah Taylor. Completes that one. Just a little bit short. Bring out the punting unit.
All right, so Tolman will kick this one away. Jaheim Tavares is back at his own 16-yard line to kick this one away. And that one bounces in Middletown territory at the 38-yard line. Third member of our on-air crew here is Ben DeCastro, and he is going to check in now down on the field. Hi, Ben.
Frank, it's great to see you all here tonight. Welcome to the wonderful city of Pawtucket. You know, the game started a little later tonight, and the reason for that is because the Rhode Island Interscholastic League is a little short on officiating. So it's a wonderful thing, and I actually talked to some of the officials and some of the people involved, and they told me to pass the message along that if you're watching and you're interested in becoming an official, it's a great opportunity for you to sign up, do something extra, earn a little extra cash. Hey, Frank, I think we should maybe sign up Gene Valacinti once he retires to do this.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be a good one there. All right, on first down for Middletown, Dawson McGowan with a pitch, and that gets up over the 40 to the 44-yard line. And the shortage of officials means that these guys here tonight are doing double duty. Already started the evening crosstown at St. Ray's. They called that game, and then they rushed over here to Max Reed Field in Pawtucket for their second assignment of the night. So second down now. Second down, and we'll call it 5. Ball on the right hash mark as we're just underway here in the first quarter. No score between Middletown and Tolman. McGowan from the shotgun. Cranston in motion, back to pass, and over the middle, and that is caught right along the ground, and that is caught by Dwayne Julius, and that's enough for a first down, and that will be moving the stakes, our first down of the evening, the Alpine Ski and Snowboard first down.
Nice read there by McGowan. They just run a curl flat concept. Linebacker pulls out to the flats. McGowan throws it behind him to Julius. Second time Julius has touched the ball in 2 plays here. He'll be a primary for him, junior wide receiver. He's raw, he's a fast guy, and he's got a good set of hands.
All right, 1st and 10 now inside of Tolman territory on the 48-yard line. Here are the Middletown Islanders. McGowan, and loose ball, and the penalty flag, I believe, goes flying. Maybe just marking the yardage. Let's see. Be on the far side of the fields. And a pickup of a yard on the play. No penalty on the play.
Well, he fumbled it forward for a yard. Sean Williams there, freshman running back. He's got to hold on to the ball. Can't have the ball on the ground this early. As you can see it pop out. Got very lucky that he fell directly toward it. Good job to get down and get on the ball, though.
Second down for Middletown. Back to pass over the middle, and that one caught. Nice catch by Patrick Cranston. Reached up over his head for that one, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line, and that will move the chains once again.
Tolman being aggressive on defense, a little bit of man-to-man. Linebacker pushes out with the slot receiver on the bubble. Does a good job right there throwing behind to his main target, Cranston. He'll try to find him every which way tonight.
Middletown in their blue and white uniforms. Special uniforms tonight for Tolman with the red jerseys, white pants, black helmets. Trying to stop this offensive drive for Middletown. Now driving deep into Tolman territory. Looking over to the sideline, waiting for the play to be called in. Quick back to pass, and that one knocked down, incomplete.
That was in the area of Dwayne Julius and Patrick Cranston. Couldn't quite tell who he was trying to target. Throwing off his back foot there was Dawson McGowan, senior quarterback, number 12, as he gets the play from coach. He'll be given a couple options on every play. Come to the line, they'll talk it over, and he'll be able to read out what he wants to do versus different defenses.
Well, big game here tonight, as we mentioned. It's winner stays in the playoff hunt. Both with identical records of 2-4 in Division II. Second down and 10. McGowan going to tuck it in. He's going to run. And he is brought down inside the 25-yard line at the 24-yard line. Quarterback keeper, pickup of 7 yards.
Yeah, just going to go straight off tackle here. He'll be one of the main carriers of the ball throughout this game, so that's not unheard of. You'll see that from time to time and consistently mixed into the game plan.
All right, 3rd down and 3 now for the Islanders. And quarterback keeper, and he is going to keep the legs pumping, and he's got first down yardage and more as he brings a whole pile of players with him down inside the 20-yard line. So into the red zone go the Middletown Islanders, the Euclid Financial Services red zone.
Nice job right here. Nice call. Great job up front, just driving and continuing. They only needed 2 yards, but they picked up about 5-6 yards there on a quarterback sneaks, which tells you a lot about what they're doing up front. Tolman really needs to dig in on plays like that, get off the field.
Clock continues to roll here, 6:05. Coach Matt Kessler for the Islanders telling us his team much better than the record would indicate, and certainly this first drive shows that they got some talent out there moving the ball. First down, and the quarterback going to keep it again, going over the left side now. Pickup of a couple of yards on the play will bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, good job by McGowan just to keep it himself. He had number 2 Cranston in motion as his pitch man, but I think a smart play to get up, get what he can get, and not put that ball in jeopardy. As one of the keys to the game for both these teams is just to limit the mistakes, get out front on the scoreboard early in this first quarter, and try to lean on the other team.
2nd down and 9. Two wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Back to pass, McGowan, and that ball incomplete, intended for Patrick Cranston.
Well, you can see how much they're trying to get that ball to Cranston in different ways. Got a flag down on the play. Looked like someone kind of held on to the hip on that slant route. We'll see what the ref officially has to say about it.
Pass interference, defense, half the distance to the goal, replay 2nd down.
All right, so our referee tonight, Cosmo D'Elia, umpires Joel Richards, linesman Mike Keegan, line judge is Justin Larson as we look again.
Yeah, oftentimes you run that in cut, that slant or bang post, and you're trying to swim around as the DB, and you'll hold on with that left hand.
2nd down and 2. The throw into the actually short of the end zone, but then trying to find room to the end zone is Cranston.
McGowan pass is complete to number 2, Cranston.
And they are going to mark that ball at about the 5-yard line, which is close to another first down.
Yeah, nice little timing route. I don't know if he has it yet. It looks like he marked it just a tad short. Needed the line there. You see one step. He's throwing to Cranston on the little 3-yard out route. Cranston loses ground at his own, on his own, and they're not going to give him that line. Very, very close. Brings up a 3rd and 1.
Completing our officials tonight, the back judge is Paul Petrarca, and on the clock tonight is Paula Delia. All right, 3rd down, short yardage here. Let's see what they've cooked up. McGowan takes it himself, looking for some room around the right side, and he is still going. Just keep those legs pumping. And that is first down yardage inside the 5-yard line now.
Yeah, they marked him just short. Great job. You can see how he's not afraid to put his head down as a quarterback. Get a chance to see the replay here. Gets behind Sean Williams. Nice block by his running back, and some good tackling to hold him up just shy of the goal line. You know, close enough that the ref could have gave it to him there, but they'll have a 1st and goal.
All right, the ball spotted on the 1-yard line. Quarterback keeper right into the end zone. Yes, there he goes. Dawson McGowan for the score as Middletown the first to strike here. And a prime heating and cooling touchdown for a 6-0 Middletown lead.
Impressive job by Middletown. They did a lot of things, some quick game. Gave it to their running back, quarterback off tackle, quarterback sneaks, and then top it off with another quarterback sneak. Only needed 1 yard. Last time got 3 yards, 5 yards on the quarterback sneak.
All right, Brady Venancio is the kicker. And the snap, and we've got a penalty flag.
Defense, half the distance to the goal, we'll retry.
All right, offside is the call. They'll move it a little bit closer. And Coach Kessler really likes his kicker, who also punts, Venancio. He has kicked as long as a 37-yarder. Coach said, I'm comfortable with him doing 40 yards.
Yeah, he said he made it look easy on the 37-yarder.
We do have some wind blowing out there. I'm looking for some flag or something. I can tell which way it's blowing. It was blowing in there when we came in as the extra point is up, and it is good. So with 3:11 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0, the Middletown Islanders leading the Tolman Tigers. So an impressive first drive for the Middletown Islanders, and a lot of it done courtesy of the legs of their quarterback, Dawson McGowan.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach talked about, he's a running back out there on the field. Obviously, they trust him to put it in the air a little bit. They'll run a lot of quick game. They want to figure out ways to get it to Cranston as well. That's the 1-2 punch, McGowan and Cranston. So watch for them to motion all over the field, and when they need to, they'll just run the quarterback up the gut. Their running back, number 20, Sean Williams, he's a freshman, so the quarterback has a lot more experience and more tenure on their running back that stands next to him back there.
Well, Coach Kessler said he has a very high football IQ, his quarterback does, the senior Dawson McGowan, who wears that number 12. And now the kick after the touchdown, and that one is reeled in at the 10-yard line. Finding some room around the right sides, and then finally brought down at about the 25-yard line is where Tolman will take over here. So Noah Taylor trying to find some room there on the return.
He also talked about McGowan was able to get some time in the semifinals in the playoffs last year, but was not the full-time starter, and has come into that duty just this season. So a senior first-year starter who had been waiting in the wing as we see Tolman's offense take the field.
On first down, Darren Valentin around the right side. He is pushed back. So one thing that Tolman's head coach Jason DeLawrence told us is these guys are big. They've got a big front line there, and you certainly saw an evidence of it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Darren Valentin, our player to watch, fighting hard, but you can see the front four of Middletown and the linebacking crew swarming to the ball as they're taught.
2nd down and 10 now. Handoff again. This one to Valentin again, and he's going to pick up some yardage here. Up over the 30-yard line to about the 32. You know, we want to keep an eye on in the white jerseys for Middletown is number 63, Griffin Kleineck. Tell you a little bit about him as we watch Valentin with that nice run. Kleineck's a 4-year starter, 3 years all-conference, first team all-state. Been courted by all the local Division I schools, as you can see him there. Big young man. He's really the key to the front line for this Middletown team. All right, there's a nice pickup, and it's going to be a first down as Valentin fighting his way for first down yardage. Oh, that's the first down there for the Tolman Tigers here tonight.
So Tolman came out in their first drive, 3 and out. They had 3 pass plays in a row. Now they've gone back to the run, leaning on Darren Valentin much more on this drive, and it's paying off for them as they convert there.
First down and 10 to go for the Tigers at their own 41-yard line.
First and 10 now for the Tigers. Back to pass. Taylor lets it go long and complete at the 35. And Hasten Ortiz into the end zone for a touchdown.
Hasten Ortiz, the senior wide receiver, gets wide open. They went to a bunch trips formation, and must have been some miscommunication on Middletown's side of the ball because Hasten Ortiz came wide open. He's their deep ball threat. He's their jump ball guy. They love to go to him when they need something. Right here,
wow.
He makes it look easy. Obviously, yeah, just some miscommunication there on defense for Middletown, and those are the things that'll hurt you. You know, those are the reasons you end up 2 and 4. That's uncontested, and the quarterback does a good job to find him and make the easy throw.
All right, well, we were told Tolman does not kick extra points, so here going for 2 is Taylor, still looking but isn't going to make his way into the end zone. So 7-6 is our score with a minute to go here in the first quarter on the big strike between Noah Taylor and Hasten Ortiz. So Tolman right back in it after Middletown scored the first touchdown of the game.
Exciting play there. They lined up in that bunch formation. That's why you do it. You line up in that bunch, it puts some pressure on the defense because there's a lot of different ways you can run pick plays. It's very tough to figure out who's guarding who. You don't want to line up everyone on the same level on defense because you can get picked off. So you stagger it and there can become confusion, as you see right there.
Well, we want to remind you that prior to the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Ocean State Credit Union play of the game. Ocean State Credit Union, where our interest is in you. And that last play right there is certainly going to go on the list of potential plays of the game as we watch this one unfold here tonight with a minute to go in the first quarter. And getting ready to kick this one off is number 4, Jaheim Tavares. A little onside kick, and that doesn't go the required yardage. So they'll throw the flag. Penalty here on the Tigers. A little early for that, Kyle.
You know, I was taking notes on that pass play, Frank. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I like that in high school. The thing about high school football is there's not a lot of big-time legs, so you can get away with doing things like that, especially if you trust your defense. There's not a lot of punting and flipping the field as much as there is in the college game and in the pro game. So you don't pay as big a penalty for gambling.
All right. This time he kicks it away, reeling it in at the 35. Ooh. A horse collar there as Dwayne Julius found himself on the ground pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not the typical way you call that. It doesn't look like a dangerous play, but he really just grabbed some jersey on the front side.
You got him on the back plate. Personal foul, horse collar. Kicking team, 15 yards from the spot, be first down.
Wow.
Now hopefully we get a chance to see the replay. The question is, does he grab the front of the shoulder plate or the back. And to me, that's his right arm is in front and probably moved to the back. So ref got it right. It just ends up being dangerous if you get your legs caught behind you. You go into that scorpion pose. And that's how Bo Jackson got hurt back in the day. For the one and only time he got caught on the sideline.
So Middletown will start this drive on Tolman's 45-yard line. Dawson McGowan calling signals. Quick drop, then tucks it in. He's going to run, and he'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. Good coverage on that by Tolman, as he took a quick look down the field, didn't see anybody open, and decided he was going to run it himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Tolman's defense not afraid to go to some cover one, some man-to-man. McGowan reading the front side, doesn't like what he sees, and he's a good runner, so he's able to tuck it and pick up a few. If you watch closely, they're putting Patrick Cranston to the back side of that trips formation. They want to see if Tolman will leave him in single coverage. You see it here again. They'll go trips into the boundary and leave number 2, their primary, to the back side. So he'll have safety help over the top.
Quarterback keeping it again down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Still a few yards short of a first down. And the final seconds of the first quarter. So that will tick away. That'll be the final play of the first quarter. Middletown leading Tolman by a score of 7-6. We're back with more Friday Night Rivals after this.
That concludes the first quarter. Middletown 7, your Tolman Tigers 6.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, local high school football every Friday night. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928, offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery eye delivery 7 days a week.
And welcome back to tonight's Friday Night Rivals game, Tolman versus Middletown. Switching sides here. Middletown in the white will go from right to left on your screen. Got a third down play coming up here. 3rd down and 3. McGowan, the pitch. And looking for first down yardage. And looks like Patrick Cranston's going to get it.
Yeah, I really like what he did right there. Cranston got low when he sensed that he was close to that line. He knew he needed the line. You see right here, makes a couple moves because there's guys in the backfield there, and gets low and makes sure he gets over that line. Good awareness by the wide receiver, running back, everything.
All right, so they move the chains. First down, another first down for Middletown. Ball on the Tolman 38-yard line.
McGowan looking to the sideline, trying to see what his coach likes about this front. They're actually in a cover 0 right now. Look for him to call a post or a seam, try to get these guys over the top on first down.
And we've got going to be a call against Middletown here.
Procedure, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
It's a tough penalty because it's not often you get that defensive look, man-to-man with no safety. They're going to bring everything. You can see Luke Cassio is going to run a post right here, one-on-one coverage, and looks like McGowan had his eyes on him.
I still back him up 5 yards to the Tolman 39-yard line.
See, now they've got Tolman will back up now. They'll play more of a 4 shell and try to keep these receivers in front of them. And Middletown will have to work a little bit harder to get down the field here.
Another quarterback keeper as he fights his way down towards the 35 and then backed up to the 38-yard line.
McGowan, the quarterback keep.
Yeah, that's why you can't quantify those penalties because you don't know what you missed. To me, they had the perfect setup there with a post that was going to hit over the top, much like Tolman did. But now they're fighting for their lives just to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Picked up 3 yards on the play, and that ball spotted just shy of the 35-yard line.
The second down and 12 to go for Middletown.
And the pass, oh boy, into traffic, and it falls incomplete. So a dangerous pass, almost caught, but there were 2 red jerseys that were on either side of the guy who was trying to catch that ball, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, Cranston can make that play. Brian Leone there on the breakup, but if he had just turned his head, he had a chance to get in that passing lane and take it for himself. But bring up a 3rd and long here. They're used to Cranston catching that ball.
All right, 3rd and 11.
Middletown coming out, bunch formation. Cranston's to the top of your screen.
McGowan looking to throw, lets it go, and it is complete. And that'll be enough for a 1st down. Very nice catch there by Luke Cassio.
Yeah, Luke Cassio, senior wide receiver. He's who I mentioned earlier. He had the post when they had that man-to-man, tight man-to-man defense. And there he runs more of a quick post into traffic, makes a tough catch in the middle of a couple defenders.
That's spotted now right on the 20-yard line. Middletown doing a good job of moving the football here tonight. Lead it 7-6 in the 2nd quarter.
Luke Cassio back from Portsmouth Abbey, had a little hiatus there, came back, ran the scout team last year at wideout.
Again, quarterback wants to keep it for himself. Dawson McGowan not going anywhere.
McGowan, the quarterback keep. Also beyond.
Gotta be
Here we see it
careful
again.
there, yeah, just straight quarterback keep. Number 53, Devin Kerwin, in there as you see him celebrating.
Not much of a surprise after he did it, 3 or 4 times in their first touchdown drive. So the kids in the red shirts and white pants are a little wise to that.
They're starting to squeeze them. They just got to be careful of the unsportsmanlike penalties. These high school refs will call things like that, and you'll give a gift 1st down to the other team.
McGowan, low snap, out to his right, looking for room, lets it go, and it is incomplete along the far sideline. And that was Colin Griggs who actually tried to get a hand on it for the interception, but it falls incomplete. 3rd down coming up.
I think, Tolman's doing a good job. Every time that McGowan rolls out to his right, he really can't get around the edge or over the hump and get downhill and make some easy throws. He's forced to kind of head towards his own sideline and throw across his body, which is tough for a quarterback to do. So good job, good pursuit angles for Tolman in their front 4.
And in motion is Cranston. McGowan looking in his direction. It's complete to Cranston, but there are all sorts of red jerseys around him, and they will drop him well short of a 1st down.
It looks like Tolman, they've been well coached. They know that Middletown's going to try to get the ball to number 2, and they need to be awake and swarm to it because he's good after the catch. As you can see, it's tough to take him down. 3, 4, and then 5 defenders on your screen trying to get Patrick Cranston on the ground.
All right, the kicker comes on, Brady Venancio. We mentioned earlier, kicked one from 35 yards away, and this is a yard longer. This is 36 yards away. See, he backs up now. There's the snap, it's down, and the kick is up. A little chip shot that is going to be short. So no good.
There were some timing issues there with the holder, the kicker, and the snapper, and that'll kind of kill all the drive behind the ball, as you can see. the holder has a little bit trouble getting it down, and that throws off the timing of the whole play. And he's got the leg to make that kick, according to coach, and those timing issues not helping.
All right, so Tolman takes over here. Let's see what they can do on offense, trailing by a point. This senior night here. And there's a little toss in the backfield and up over the line of scrimmage for a pickup of about 3 yards on the play.
It's like number 9, Brian Leone. Just a simple swing route out of motion. Noah Taylor does a good job timing it up, getting it to him, just being a point guard out there, letting his guy drive to the hoop, and about a 4-yard gain on the play. It's good tackling. That's number 7 there, Dwayne Julius on the tackle.
2nd and 7. And the handoff right up the middle and over the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line goes Darren Valentin, captain on this Tigers team, honored prior to the game as one of the seniors on the squad.
They're going right back to the script last time, going to Darren Valentin downhill. Once they start to crowd that box, Middletown, look for them to try to get one over the top again.
All right, first down now for the Tigers. Looking to pass, letting it go, knocked away somewhat unknowingly, but you know what? I tell you, keep your hands up. And right there was number 8, Vinny Cavallari.
Yeah, they're trying to target the tight end there, use his body a little bit, but some great defense by the linebacker. Pretty good timing. Yeah, that's tough. There's no real window there, and got away with a little bit of contact. You know, it's supposed to be that you get 5 yards of contact and then you got to let them go, but the refs will give you a yard or 2 of leeway.
All right, 2 wide to the right. Looking to pass now and getting flushed out of the pocket and then going to be dropped for a loss is the quarterback Noah Taylor. So good coverage on the play, and there you see the young man we talked about, Griffin Kleineck, helping leading the rush for that takedown.
Big play, puts Tolman in a tough spot here. They'll go talk it over with their coach. But yeah, forced out the pocket left, trying to come back to the right, and the big boy says no.
Loss of 6 on the play. Now 3rd and very long for the Tigers.
Yeah, Noah Taylor's not the biggest guy. He's having a little bit of trouble kind of getting into space. With shorter quarterbacks, you kind of want to roll them out, let them see what's downfield, and nothing doing right there as he was not able to escape out to his left.
The timeout on the field stops the clock with 5:47 to go here in the first half. And just to remember, during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the South Shore Village Player of the Game. So you keep your scorecard at home. We'll keep our scorecard here. And then we'll let you know how it all works out later in this game. All right, 3rd and very long for the Tigers. And around the right side and trying to break it away, but gets back to that original line of scrimmage. That was Jason Ortiz.
Taylor's pass complete to number 2, Jason Ortiz.
Yeah, no, they are in a hole, so just trying to get that quick screen to Jason Ortiz. See if he can make a play with his legs, trying to get some of his linemen out in front of him. You know, I really think you want to lean towards getting to the outside on that play. That's how it's coached up, but he kind of was looking for the cutback lane, and that'll bring up 4th and 11.
Yaheem Tavares back to kick this one away on 4th and 11. And there's the quick kick. Good hang time and the bounce right at the Tolman 45-yard line and then out of bounds. And that's where Middletown will take over here.
You can see it, with these high school punters. It's tough to flip the field.
Yep. Here's that kick again.
Yeah, that snap all the way to the left. Got some pressure coming in his face, so no fault of his own. But, now Middletown will have the ball beyond the 50-yard line already. I call that a downhill track because now they don't have to worry about making mistakes. They can be aggressive. Once they get 10 yards here, they can take shots at the end zone.
Ball spotted on the 46-yard line. Dawson McGowan looking over to the sideline. Taking the call, and here we go. 1st and 10. Again, quarterback keeper. Picks up about 4 yards on the play. 3, and we look at these sidelines, and we've had games with larger football teams, and Middletown, one of the smallest high school enrollments in the state of Rhode Island, just 520 kids.
It's sparse. Coach talked about that. There's been elements of fatigue at the end of games and some mental mistakes because these guys really don't come off the field. Almost all of them are two-way players, so they are gassed at the end of the game, and when that happens, that's how you make mistakes.
Even the quarterback goes both ways,
Yeah.
plays offense and defense.
Well, he's definitely a contributor last year at cornerback, a little bit at wide receiver, and now taking over at the helm, but he knows how to do it on the defensive side, and he will be seen out there when they need somebody.
And there he is, running the ball once again, pushed out of bounds after he picks up the 1st down on the play.
So what's interesting is, Middletown absolutely not huddling up, coming right to the line of scrimmage, checking with the coach. He looks at the defense. They figure out what they like, and they attack the defense where they feel the weakness is. Anytime you line up on defense, there's going to be some weakness. There's only so many deck chairs, as they say. You can rearrange them, but you can't add strength. So, that one of the few times right there, Middletown did huddle up.
Well, it's
I said it.
3rd down now. They didn't give him the 1st down. Still very short yardage here.
And they've got Cranston on the backside. A lot of times they'll try slant or a hitch backside, but he's press coverage.
Back to pass, letting it fly, and that is intercepted. Intercepted at the 17-yard line, and bringing it back is Emmett Tellare. Tellare with an interception now, and Tolman takes over as they have some new life here with 3:15 to go in the 1st half.
Yeah, just a little bit of a forced throw into traffic. You can see how many red jerseys are there. Look like sort of a quick post, and a good job to get the tip and take it to the sideline.
Thomas Griggs with the tip, and then reeled in by Emmett Tellare.
Some nice concentration there, and does what you're supposed to do. Try to find that sideline, try to find some help, and keep that ball on your outside hand. Great play by number 7.
All right, here comes Tolman again now on 1st down. And Valentin brought down after he crosses the 35-yard line. That'll keep the clock moving. And invite you to stick around for our Friday Night Rivals halftime report, brought to you by NBC 10 WJAR. We'll have this week's Patriot Roofing Scholar athletes, an interview with one of the participating schools administrators, plus some first half national highlights and a whole lot more coming up at halftime. Hope you'll stick around for that. All right, we have an injured player on the field, so we are going to take a break. More Friday Night Rivals after this. Welcome back. Vinny Cavallari was the injured player. He was helped up and is now off the field. And second down now. Second down and 7 for the Tolman Tigers, who are looking to get some more points on the board here in the final less than 3 minutes now left in the first half.
Now, one of the things you want to do after an interception or a turnover is strike quickly. We'll see what they can do early on this drive.
Valentin looking for room, but he is stacked up and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Is more likely going to lose a yard or two.
You can see all 11 Middletown defensive players on your screen inside the box on that play. So talk about, swarming to the ball. That's why Tolman hit them in a little bit of confusion over the top earlier, but everyone within the first 5 yards. So, that can be good and it can be dangerous as well if they dial up the right play at the right time. Middletown coming out in a 3-shell right here, which tells me that they're aware of the situation, going to kind of back off a little bit, although it is 3rd and 6.
3rd down and 6 to go for the Tigers.
And we have another timeout called by the Tolman Tigers here.
Tigers.
And we want to thank our friends at Medici Italian Kitchen for the crew meal tonight. Always a very popular moment when the Medici Italian Kitchen food arrives here on scene. We're still waiting.
Well, that's saying it's so good that we get here a little bit later than the crew and we don't get to get it. It tastes too good. They eat it all up.
Well,
that's what I'm going with.
Next time we head out for a meal, we got to go over there and see what that's all about, because based on the crew's enthusiasm for that meal. All right, they sent over some penne with sausage and peppers.
So,
why do they tease us like that?
Yeah, you don't need to tell me that.
All right, 3rd down coming up here for the Tigers. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
3rd and 6, Tolman in a pass set, empty backfield. He's got trips to the bottom of the screen, or I should say 2 by 2.
Looking to throw, and there it is. Valentin has it, breaks one tackle, still going, and he picks up enough yardage for the first down. So the clock stopped here as they move the chains. They want to reset quickly here as we take a look.
Yeah, nice job. Just a little bit of a timing route. Taylor hits Valentin. Valentin do a good job to shed a couple tacklers, make sure he gets the first down. You can see him even looking over to the sideline to make sure that he had the chains, reach that ball out the end. Another empty set, 3 by 2.
Taylor wants to throw, lets it go, and that's, let's see, did that initially caught, but I think maybe dropped. Well, yeah, pickup of a yard on the play, so that was a complete pass. 2nd down coming up here.
I think a little bit of a half roll by the quarterback. Doesn't have the strongest of arm, but gets it out, the correct read to the flats. You want to get it there a little bit earlier. Sometimes it's tough when you're rolling to your left to get that ball out early, and that's why only the 1 yard gain there.
All right, now under a minute to go in the first half. 2nd down. Rolling out, Taylor wants to throw, lets it go, and that is incomplete. Obviously, at this late in the half, they want to throw along the sideline, and everybody kind of knows that, because you want to try and stop the clock if you make a completed pass to step out of bounds. But the incomplete pass also stops the clock now with 51 seconds to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwayne Julius makes a good play on this ball. See, it's just too many steps in the ground. The DBs have read the routes by that time after you take 9, 10, 11 steps. And good job by Julius breaking on the ball. But you're absolutely right. They're trying to hit these routes on the sideline so they can stop the clock.
All right, 3rd down now. And the ball thrown deep, and that one is intercepted. Intercepted by Patrick Cranston. Cranston coming back along the far sideline, and then finally pushed out of bounds in Tolman territory at about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and he really just threw into coverage. That's exactly where you don't want to throw it. Middletown comes out in a cover 3, which means they've got 3 guys guarding these deep routes, and you can see the safety comes over. Cranston just goes high. That's, you know, their star wide receiver, so he knows how to go up and get a ball. And now you've got 39 seconds left, and actually Middletown is in striking distance here. Great job by Cranston there, going up, getting the ball at the high point. They call it for DBs, and finds the sideline. Yeah, he's going to be a tough guy. If you're throwing into his zone, he considers that his ball, especially as a wide receiver / DB.
And I believe Middletown has a couple of timeouts available to them, so maybe they go down the middle of the field here and then call a timeout. All right, the play comes in from the sideline. First down and 10. McGowan, and some movement here. Flag flies. Let's hear. All right, legal procedure.
Penalty. Replay first down.
That goes against the Islanders, so they'll back it up 5 yards.
Well, start with the offense. It'll back them up 5 and first down and 15 to go for Middletown.
Well, Middletown, you know, putting themselves in a little bit of a hole here, but they've got the firepower to make up for that. First and 15. Look for them to go trips to the bottom of the screen and try to isolate Cranston to the top.
Ball on the 44-yard line. Man in motion is Cranston. Looking to throw. McGowan. And tucks it in, and he gets down inside the 40 to the 35-yard line.
Well, yeah, it looks like he gained about 10. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6. That's much more second and looking at the spot, maybe 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. But they motion him across. Quarterback doesn't like what he sees. That's how you get out of there, get upfield. Finds the sideline, also keeps himself safe and makes himself available without getting hurt. Finds that sideline.
13 seconds left now.
So,
And let's
Paul,
see.
did you see the clock?
All right, some question on the timing and whether we need to either roll off or put some more time on the clock.
Yeah, okay. Clock operator, put 27 seconds on the clock. 27, please.
27 seconds on the clock.
27.
And our referee tonight is Cosmo D'Elia.
Previous play was good for a gain of 7.
Paula D'Elia on the clock here.
To go for Middletown. 27 seconds remaining. In the half.
Rolling out, looking to throw, and that pass completes. Let's see, they call a timeout here to stop the clock with 19 seconds to go. That one was complete to Vinny Cavallari.
It looks like he's back out. Went down earlier in the game. Middletown with 2 timeouts left. You know, they've got enough time to mount a drive, at least get in field goal range and try to get 3 out of this.
Well, so far so good, and a nice game here tonight. It's week 7 of the Friday Night Rivals coverage. We have one more week to go. Next week we're going to kind of wrap up our fall sports coverage when we will visit Bristol and Mount Hope. Mount Hope will be playing North Providence, so we hope that you'll join us again for that on either the turn10.com website or our YouTube page, which is NBC10 WJAR. And actually all the games that we have covered this season, and we've had some really good ones, are available on both of those platforms. So YouTube page has got them all from this season, last season. This is our 3rd year of doing these Friday Night Rivals games, so I'm sure if you'd like to go back and look on some of those games, be our guest. All right, let's see what they've cooked up here on 3rd down.
Yeah, Middletown will have a chance for about 3 plays if they manage this the right way. They got a bunch formation to the top.
Snap, pass, complete in and out of the hands of Cavallari. I think he was looking away to see where he was going to go after he caught the ball.
Yeah, I'm just thinking a little bit too much. He makes that catch, and they're already at the 20. They use a timeout. They don't have to use it here because it's incomplete, but it's a great ball, great timing by the quarterback. McCowan put it right where you want it, and Cavallari a little bit banged up out there, fighting through, being down on the turf a little bit earlier. And, they've still got, I would say, still 3 plays because that one only took off about 3 or 4 seconds.
4th down, though, now for Middletown. And the quarterback wants to keep it, and almost taken down on that play by Daniel Rodriguez. But he is slowed up, and that gets the rest of the defense a chance to catch up to him. But we have a flag down on the play with 7 seconds to go. Another way to stop the clock.
Yeah. Let's see what they call here.
Yeah. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. Half the distance would be 1st down.
That helps a lot. So now,
does.
That play took a long time, running all the way from where your quarterback spot to the sideline, doing a spin move there to break a tackle and trying to find space. A little bit of a late hit there while he was indefensible.
Wow.
So they're in striking distance here.
So 7 seconds to go. To be generous, are you going to go for the end zone? Are you going to go for the sideline? You can't run the ball because if you don't end up in the end zone, time is going to run out as we have another timeout here. So it gives us a chance to talk about the options. And then, if you don't get into the end zone, do you leave yourself a second or 2 to try and kick it?
Yeah, I mean, they like their kicker, Venancio, and I think you take one shot at the end zone. I think he's in field goal range right now. If you don't get it, you kick the field goal, and you go up by 4, right? That's a good way to go into halftime. I wouldn't take 2 shots from here, but we'll see what they dial up. Like, I think they're going to go to Cranston in the end zone. Look for some type of corner route. Okay. Obviously, Tolman's going to try to take away the middle of the field. You don't want them to throw a post right down the pipe. That's the easiest deep ball to throw. So maybe look for Cranston. Well, they've got number 7, Dwayne Julius, to the bottom. He'd be the easiest guy to run on a corner route if he just stems in that corner. Cranston's to the top with the trips formation.
Whatever you're going to do, you got to do it quick. Ball into the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown for Dwayne Julius. Was that your call?
I didn't call the fade, but that's the other way to go. That's the same spot on the field that you're trying to target. You get one-on-one coverage that way over the cornerback. You don't have to worry about a safety, and that's the way you throw that ball. One step, throw it, trust your receiver. He puts it in a great spot, and Dwayne Julius goes up and does what he's supposed to do and wins the rebound.
Pair of 7s on that play. Emmett Talleray tried to knock it away, and he was outfought on that jump ball there. And the touchdown now for Middletown puts them up 13-6, and they'll kick the extra point as time has expired here in the first half. Brady Venancio backs it up, ready to kick it away. Snap, kick is up, and it is good. So, at the end of the half, it is the Middletown Islanders leading this game by a score of 14-6. Back with halftime right after this.
All right, welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. I am here with Coach Kessler of Middletown. Coach, when we were about a minute to go, it was such a close score, but it really feels like at this last minute of the second quarter, you guys really gave yourself some good distance, even though it's 1 touchdown.
Yeah, a lot of good athletes over there. They're mixing it up on us, so we're kind of looking for something to take advantage of, and we saw a good one-on-one matchup over there. So Dwayne made a great catch on that one. Give us a little room here.
What's going to be your message to guys during this halftime?
0-0, got to come out. They're going to come out, flying, ready to go. And we get the ball, so hopefully we get another score right away, give us some more distance. Otherwise, it's a 4-quarter game.
All right, good luck in the second half. Frank, take it away. This has been very exciting.
All right, 14-6. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Coach. Our halftime show is coming up when we return. And welcome back to Max Reed Field in Pawtucket. We are at halftime of the Middletown Tolman High School football game. Well, the Friday Night Rivals halftime report begins, brought to you by NBC 10 WJAR. And every week we nominate 2 more scholar athletes who at the end of the season will be eligible for a $5,000 college scholarship. Let's find out who tonight's 2 nominees are.
We are proud to present the Patriot Roofing Scholar Athletes of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Maddie King from Middletown High School and Mariah Stefanik from Tolman High School. Maddie is a member of the varsity, swim, and lacrosse teams while serving as class president. She also volunteers her time with youth soccer and lacrosse organizations. Mariah is an all-state soccer athlete and a member of the National Honor Society. She also volunteers her time at the Junior Surf Academy. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Patriot Roofing Scholar Athletes of the Week.
And welcome back to Max Reed Field as we are at halftime of the Middletown Tolman game. Let's head down to the field where Ben DeCastro has a special guest. Ben?
Thank you very much, Frank. I am down here with the athletic director for the entire city of Pawtucket, Dino Campopiano. And, sir, this is an incredible night. It's a lot of fun. It's senior night. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, we're excited to have our seniors here for Tolman Tiger football. Our senior nights are always very exciting. We're having a great parent turnout. As you can see behind us, we have a lot of posters that are up for our seniors. Our parents are excited, families are excited. So it's exciting for the community. It's exciting for our football players. So we're ready to get going tonight, and hopefully we get a win for our Tolman Tigers.
I know, as teachers and leaders, you guys put a lot into the students. What do the students give back to you, and what do you take from them as you've been doing this for a number of years now?
So this is my 30th year, and I wouldn't do anything different. I love our kids. I love what they give back to me. They've taught me, hopefully, as much as I've taught them over the years. We have great student athletes, and I couldn't be happier and more proud of what I do. And hopefully I'm going to do it for maybe another 6, 7, 10 years and keep it going.
Well, I did the math. You've done this for 30 years. You started when you were 10 years old. Congratulations, sir. I wish you all the best. When we come back, Frank and Kaya will have the first half highlights from here at Pawtucket. It's Friday Night Rivals with NBC 10.
And welcome back to halftime here at Tolman in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. The Tigers trailing the Middletown Islanders at the half, 14-6. Let's take a look back at some of those first half highlights. Middletown was striking first with a nice pass here to Patrick Cranston, but it was the legs of the quarterback, Dawson McGowan, that got them into the end zone. This one of many QB keepers. This one made it 6-0. And for Tolman, Hasten Ortiz, watch this, wide open.
Yeah, Noah Taylor to Hasten Ortiz, and some mix-ups in the defensive backfield for Middletown would even it up on the scoreboard.
Cranston doing it on defense as well as he picks off this pass and gives his team a chance to get in the end zone here towards the end of the first half. And then a nice catch here by Cavallari to keep the drive alive. And then finally at the final second of the first half, Dwayne Julius in the end zone, touchdown. And that gives us our score, 14-6. So as you see the teams getting ready to come back out for the second half prior to tonight's game, it was senior night. And you see some of the seniors for the Tolman Tigers in their final home game. 7 seniors were honored prior to tonight's home game. Their families and friends gathering around as they were honored prior to the game. A lot of smiles as they wrap up their high school careers here at home. We are getting ready to start the third quarter of tonight's game. Tolman trailing Middletown by a score of 14-6. And let's head down to Ben DeCastro standing by with Tigers head coach Jason DeLawrence. Ben?
Here with Coach DeLawrence. Coach, look, they scored right in the final seconds, but up until that point, it seems like it's been a foot race. You guys are keeping right up with them.
Yeah, we just got to have sustain some drives on our offensive series. Defense is playing well, but we can't give up the big play, and we got to score some points.
What was your message to keep their spirits up and to keep their head in the game?
Well, we just got to stay together as a brotherhood. That's what we've been preaching all year. We're a brotherhood, and we got to stay together.
Excellent. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Frank, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ben, and thank you, Coach. Middletown won the toss, the start of the game. They deferred, so after scoring to end the first half, they will take the kickoff here to start the second half. This game's still very much in reach for the Tolman Tigers. We had spoken about how important this game is for both teams, as they are both fighting for a playoff spots here with two kind of regular season games to go. Both will be playing on Thanksgiving Day or thereabouts. I know there's games on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Let's see here. Middletown will take on Portsmouth on the 28th, which is Thanksgiving Day. And then looks like they even have a game on Tuesday, if the state is right on the schedule. Tolman will take on crosstown rival Shea on the 26th. 5 p.m. game. And here we go to kick off the third quarter at the 32-yard line, and looking to find some room and break it away, and finally taken down at the 46-yard line. And this is where the Islanders will take over. 1st and 10 here to start the third quarter of play. Patrick Cranston, whose name has been heard quite a bit.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is kick it to him, kick it directly to Pat Cranston. All that Middletown tries to do offensively, try to find ways to get it to number 2. As you can see, he can really move around. He's great with the ball in his hands. You know, the toughest part about throwing that interception for Tolman and then seeing Middletown drive down, put up 7 with 0 seconds left before half, is that Middletown now gets the ball back after halftime. So it's a double swing of events. And, you know, Middletown had their backs to the wall right before that interception, and now they have the chance to take control of this game.
They are in the driver's seat as they have the first offensive drive of the second half. 1st and 10 now from their own 46-yard line. Long count here. McGowan, empty backfield, throws on first down to Luke Cassio. And Cassio gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage, and maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Cassio early in the game caught a nice post in traffic here. A little screen play. He's got to tuck that ball away, just make sure for his team that they retain possession throughout this half. It's a close game. It's a bit of a defensive battle. Although, you know, we have seen these two offenses do both know how to move the ball. I would say that, you know, like these coaches said, they're just leaving points on the field a little bit, not putting them on the scoreboard. Got to find ways to finish these drives.
Loss of a yard on the play, so 2nd down and 11 for the Islanders.
Max Yates calling the plays for Middletown. He's got empty sets to start this first half. Just a quarterback in the backfield, 5 wide.
Oh, no fooling anybody there, as coming in on that play was Yahim Tavares to drop the quarterback for a big loss.
They go with that empty set in order to draw DBs and linebackers outside the box so they can run the quarterback, but Tavares not having any of it, wearing number 4 tonight. He does a lot of the kicking duties for Tolman and celebrating a big play, and that does bring up a tough, about 3rd and 17, I'd say.
Let's see what they cook up here on this. So we're just underway here in the third quarter.
This time they'll have a running back in the backfield with them. Looks like from my angle, number 20, Sean Williams.
Handoff on 3rd down and not going anywhere. So great job there by the Tolman defense.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know what was said at halftime, but they came out playing the right way because, like we said, if they had to absorb another score from Middletown, that could have been backbreaking, but their defensive, the front 4 and their linebacking crew swarming to the ball, getting Middletown's offense off the field, and a chance to go down, drive down, and either tie it up or get within one here.
All right, so we'll punt this one away. Brady Venancio back at his own 26-yard line.
You know, the coach said, Valentin, the only thing he hasn't done is bring back a punt return or on special teams. He scored through the air, on the ground, so look for number 1 here, who's to the bottom of the screen deep.
Kick high will not be returned as that ball bounces and then is downed at the 38-yard line. And that's we will see Tolman take over here for their first offensive drive of the second half as they trail 14-6. So it was interesting in speaking with Coach Jason DeLawrence about, he mentioned how every member of the offense has a wristband to help them with play calling. So the linemen, you know, typically we're used to seeing that on the quarterback's wrist, but not everybody else's, and they all have them.
It is, you know, very in vogue for the coach to call the play directly to all 11 guys now, not waste as much time as we see Valentin wasting no time in getting uphill, straight ahead, puts his head forward, gets the first down, some tough tackling toward the end of that run from Middletown. But yeah, they'll all wear a wristband, and you'll see, you know, not just the quarterback looking over the sideline. The wideouts are looking, now everyone's kind of looking at their wristbands. Not always a wristband, sometimes they wear it on their belt, these wideouts. That's why they're checking their belt. And they'll have the play, the quarterback will just roll it into motion with his cadence.
So first down there for Tolman, and the handoff on first down to Valentin. Oh, he breaks through, still going. And dropped at the Middletown 40-yard line.
Another nice run. He's on this drive, I'd say he's averaging 10 yards a carry. And he really doesn't play around with his legs. Referee's calling motion on the offense there. So you can see the replay here. He's always making the decision to cut upfield rather than out, and it's oftentimes that's why you lose yardage. But the refs will bring this one back for, I believe, illegal motion before the snap. That'll put them at a 1st and 15. Again, Tolman's entire offense looks over to the coach to get the play. And Jason DeLawrence will give them from the sideline.
Loss of 5 and first down and 15 to go for the Tigers.
Quick pass, reeled in by Jason Ortiz, and
this would be, you know, I believe they gave him the catch, so smart by Ortiz to go pick that up, make sure they don't call this a fumble. But yeah, he's able to tuck that in. I believe that should go down, and good job getting on the ball. But you got to hang on to that, bring it into the body. You know, that's one football move, so they'll give him the reception, and now they're sitting at 2nd and 15.
Well, we talk about those wristbands that Tolman has. It eliminates the need for a huddle.
Absolutely.
All right, here's Valentin again, and he's motoring his way up to midfield.
No, he's doing a good job. I mean, the line is doing a great job up front. He's doing a great job getting downhill, putting his shoulder pads at stomach level, running through these linebackers. But it's like they're working against themselves with these drop passes and fumbles and penalties. Yeah, I mean, he really knows how to finish runs, and that's why, you know, he was the player to watch today and why we talked about him before the game. Senior captain, you know, he actually leads them in receptions, tough kid, hard nose, and Coach talked about he does everything for them. He can put him anywhere. He can run over guys, and if he hits a sideline, he's got the speed to go the distance.
Leads the team in touchdowns, really a hard-nosed kid. Can run, can catch. 3rd down now and 9. Quick pass out in the flat, and then reverse direction is Brian Leone. And Leone still motoring, and he'll pick up first down yardage.
Wow. So they throw a screen to number 9, Brian Leone, down the bottom, and it almost looks set up because he had blocking to the top of the screen, almost like a wall on a kickoff return, and he makes a smart play either way. And watch here. Well, he takes no time in deciding to go upfield, get the Valentin out there in front of him, and just picks up that first down. And that really got them out of a tight spot because they are obviously trailing 14-6, 6:53 left in the third.
Quick pass on first down, and that is complete. And then backed up after the catch goes Jason Ortiz.
Yeah, Taylor to Ortiz there. Some nice touch on that ball. He had a linebacker in his passing lane. He's able to feather that ball over and back down. They call this getting the ball up and down quickly. Up, down, right in between the linebacker and the DB. And that's not easy to do. It's more of a college level throw. He executes it well.
Like how so many of these plays, the Middletown defense is 3 or 4 guys right on the ball carrier. Big long pass tossed up, and that one incomplete, going to Brian Leone.
Yeah, just a go route by Leone, number 9, and thrown a little bit short by Noah Taylor. And, like we talked about, he's not the biggest guy. I don't think he has, top level arm, but a good enough arm to get the ball where he needs to get it most times. This is just kind of a little bit short, although misplayed by the DB, and he had a chance to make a play there, Leone did. Flag on the play.
Oh, hold on. No, ineligible down, coach. Should be 5 and repeat or there in third.
All right, the call's going to go against Tolman.
Tough call. They're going to decline.
Ineligible player downfield.
Oh,
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So they could have had 3rd and 5 there or 2nd and 10. And they opt for 2nd and 10. Interesting. Because you live for 3rd downs as a defense. Soon you get that 3 up there, you get a chance to get off the field. So it's kind of giving them 2 chances right here.
Let's see what they do with it. Ball on the 39-yard line on 2nd down. Valentin again trying to break through. Picks up a few yards on the play.
Yeah, it looked like the right call because that's a 3rd and 6. That's better than 3rd and 5. But, what I was thinking is Valentin's averaging sometimes 8, 9, 10 yards a carry.
Valentine carrying in a 3 and a 3rd down and 7 to go for Tolman.
Just got to make sure he keeps that ball high and tight. These Middletown defenders going in, trying to, it's like the first one holds him up. The next few come in for the ball is what you're taught. So he's fighting off so many defenders. Just needs to make sure he keeps that ball close to his body.
3rd and 7 now. Quick pass. And now Leone trying to find some room, and he is going to be dropped for a big, big loss all the way back to midfield.
That one only works once. You can't continuously cut that back across the grain because there's the most defenders in the middle. You're taught to take those screens and get to the edge, but they're throwing these so far backward. It's tough for him. You really want to jab step upfield, catch that ball 1 yard back from the line of scrimmage, and get what you can on the outside. 4th down, they'll bring the punt unit on, and a missed opportunity there for Tolman to put the ball in the end zone and try to tie this up with a 2-point conversion. They're down by 8.
Patrick Cranston is back deep. Yahim Tavares on his own 39-yard line takes the snap and gets this one away. Far side takes a nice Tolman bounce, still rolling, and they will down that ball with 4:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the ball on the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I just think the reason I say a missed opportunity is because I believe that Darren Valentin and the front 4 at Tolman are running the ball and blocking well enough to drive this all the way down the field and into the end zone, obviously down by 8, and they're really just fighting themselves with some odd motions on screens, drop pass up top that they were somehow able to overcome when he's running back and jumping on the ball. So, and then obviously a few penalties mixed in there. But yeah, it's tough to play the other team and your own mistakes at the same time.
Dawson McGowan, senior quarterback, doing what he's done so many times tonight, holding on to the ball himself and running it. Picks up a few yards on that first down play.
Yeah, well, Middletown wants to come out in these spread sets. Sometimes empty backfield, sometimes one running back next to him, and they'll force these DBs and linebackers to cover the entire field, and then they'll take their quarterback, one of their best runners, and just run him up the gut and try to play numbers games against Tolman's defense. See here, they put trips to the bottom and one receiver to the top. I believe it's Cranston to the top. I'm sorry, they got empty again, 2 to the top.
That one completes to Julius, Dwayne Julius. Dropped at the 21-yard line. Third down coming up now.
Check out the pass here, just a timing route, throwing the hitch or a little screen to Julius. This is kind of how you want to catch that, get upfield, get what you can get. You only really need to average 3 or 4 yards per attempt in order to keep moving these chains. You know, it's really 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So you don't want to try to cut back every time you throw a screen and lose yards and gain yards. You just want to get those 4 and 5 yards a clip and move the ball, march the ball down the field. So good job there by Julius.
Third down, the quarterback wants it himself, trying to find some open room, and he is going to be short of a first down.
Yeah, he's flirting with it. He's close. He needed about the 31, about 1 yard short.
So fourth down, and a little bit more than a yard to go. So Brady, well, actually the quarterback coming back in here.
Yeah,
They're going to go for it on 4th and 1.
I was going to say, this is a tough area of the field to go for it. I would have expected the punting unit to come on, but they're not getting a lot out of that, and why not take a chance? They've had a lot of success on quarterback sneaks. Look for that right here.
From their own 25-yard line under center, he's always run. What do we got? Did they pull him offside? I think they did. And that's going to give them
5-yard penalty result in a first down.
And that's another way to go, and that's a smart play. You know, you can use a timeout if the risk is worth the reward, right? You can burn a timeout if you don't get them, but come up, try to draw them off sides. If they don't draw off sides, time out, bring the punt team on, but they are rewarded. Heady play by the senior quarterback, first-year starter. Got some time last year in the semifinals of the Rhode Island playoffs and played well and got them a win. And he makes a big, smart play in the huddle for his team right there.
So first down for Middletown, the quarterback, the pitch, and running with it is Patrick Cranston, and he is gang tackled. So mentioned that these rosters are pretty small. In fact, you know, Middletown tried to reload after last year. That they graduated 18 on their 35-man roster. In fact, 12 of those players were significant starters for the Islanders. So it's almost like starting from scratch here this season, and may have been a contributing factor to their currently 2-4 record.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's tough. You get these great senior classes, and then they're gone, and you know, you have guys that have very little experience out there, and it's really tough. You gotta learn on the fly and win on the fly, really.
McGowan on second down. Handoff, not going anywhere. So the Tolman defense really clamping down here on Middletown.
I think the most success Middletown has had consistently is when they get up and throw slants and quick outs to Cranston, but they're mixing in a little bit of double option here, some trap play, as you can see right there. And Tolman seems to be a pretty good job sniffing those interior plays out. So, you know, I would look for Middletown to try to open it up right here.
That brings us to the end of the third quarter. 14-6, Middletown leading Tolman. More Friday Night Rivals after this. And welcome back to Pawtucket. Tolman trailing Middletown with a quarter to go here as we look at the cheerleaders, all bundled up, but very much a part of the whole atmosphere that is this high school football game here tonight. And there's a pass that's complete.
Luke Cassio on the reception. He's running that deep slant or that short post, whatever you want to call it, but he's doing a good job catching the ball in space. As you can see, he's got a DB draped all over him. Number 22 there, Paul Fisher for Tolman. Good defense on the play, but Cassio reeling it in. That's the way to start out the fourth quarter. First down. They'll huddle here, Middletown, as they do occasionally. He'll peek to the coach, see if he wants to audible. Looks like he's keeping the play on.
Cavallari is in motion now, and Cranston some movement. Big pass, and flag flies as both players, the defender and the intended receiver on that play, go to the ground. So it looks like it's going to be pass interference here.
Yeah, absolutely. That one wasn't close. Get the official call from the ref here.
Mike. Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty. Result is a first down.
All right, so they'll march that one off. It's a big one.
Yeah, this is just a reward for being aggressive, going downtown. They're trying to target Dwayne Julius there on the inside fade. He lined up in the slot, went deep downfield, attacked the safety, and try to fade out. And when you know you're beat, you got to grab on and go along for the ride.
All right, so inside of Tolman territory on the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10 now for Middletown. Snap, pass, and looking for room is Cranston, and gang tackled. And that will result in a loss on the play.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like anything behind the line of scrimmage, Tolman's linebackers and front four seem to be able to have a beat on those things. They've had a little more success when they've lined these wide receivers up at the line of scrimmage and throw the ball downfield, whether it be the short or intermediate and sometimes deep passing game, as we saw before the end of the half there. So, yeah, it's just tough. Tolman is really kind of getting to the ball quickly. I'd like them to see line up two, in the slot, run a corner route, run an out route, run some stop routes, and let him use his athleticism before the ball hits his hands.
Second down, quarterback keeping it, McGowan, left side, and then pushed out of bounds on the far sideline.
You got a big chunk there. McGowan to the left side, running with the head of steam. It looked like he almost broke that one. I think he was one tackler away from taking this to the end zone. Once he got downhill here, he really picked a lane and went with it. And really, yeah, you can see, one or two tacklers away from coming out the other end of that.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Islanders as we look at through three-quarter stats, pretty even in almost all the categories: rushing yards, passing yards, total yards. Each team has a turnover, but it is Middletown that leads this one. That's the only one that really counts. 14-6 on the scoreboard. And this play is blown dead.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty. Result will be a first down.
Gave it away.
Another play where they just hurt themselves.
Yeah. This is that spot in the field. Yeah, it's sort of a tricky motion. It's tough for those defensive linemen to stay in their stance that long. You expect the snap. Pretty smart play by Middletown. It looked like he used his hard count there on the motion. They expected it. So another smart play by McGowan, quarterback.
So another first down for Middletown. Back to pass, McGowan looking long and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on that play. And that was another jump ball opportunity that was intended for Dwayne Julius.
Yeah, Dwayne Julius, one of their guys that you know, he's one of their speed guys. They want to throw go routes, fade balls to him, and he's really just going to give his guy a chance. This is athlete versus athlete, and that's a great spot for the ball, but we see great defense by Emmett Tarlay. And Emmett obviously getting beat right before half, makes a play there. You know,
Same matchup.
You don't want to see that happen too much, and he's got a chip on his shoulder now, so you want to see him turn his head a little bit more there, but gets his hand up in the right spot.
McGowan off to the sideline and pushed out of bounds after a pickup of about 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up here as we look at the quarterback again.
You can see how heavily they rely on him to, you know, be an aggressive, really just running back. You know, he's a running back that plays quarterback. You're not going to see him slide. His job is to get the tough yards in the middle. Occasionally they'll give it to Sean Williams, number 20, by his side, but, you know, he's the main guy in that running attack. And it's impressive to see a guy do both, do that and then be efficient in the passing game. He's really kind of run this offense well and been a field general out there tonight.
All right, 3rd down. And again, a long count here for Middletown. Man in motion. Cassio. Now the pass over the middle, and that's incomplete. Intended for Patrick Cranston.
Those are ones I like. You know, just a straight slant to Cranston, who's out wide to his right, makes a break, puts his foot in the ground. Ball's on time. He just needs to get this one down a little bit. Would have been a tough catch. And, you know, some good defensive back play by Hasten Ortiz there as well. As you can see, that's the 2nd time we've called his name for being draped all over a receiver and avoiding pass interference, but being there at the right time. It's tough to do from that defensive back spot. So that'll bring up a 4th and 5, we'll call it, and a big play for Tolman's defense as well as Middletown's offense to try to put this one away with 7:44 left in the 4th quarter.
McGowan wants to pass on 4th down, and it's intended for Cranston, and he has it. Touchdown.
We're on the same page, me and McGowan. We saw Cranston man-to-man coverage, singled up. They motioned away from him with another wide receiver, and that gave him the one-on-one coverage. He ran a little bit of a fade route, might have gave him a little bit of a slant move, and the quarterback just trusts this guy, throws it out over the outside shoulder, which is exactly how you teach it. And Patrick Cranston with a big-time play here, one that'll make this 2-touchdown game, and Tolman really behind the 8 ball.
Well, the coach for Middletown, Matt Kessler, telling us about this. Patrick Cranston said he's the most exciting player on the field. He said, well, we'll see. Yeah. We are seeing here tonight, yeah. Uh-oh. And snap gets away.
Good job just getting on it, because they will have a 14-point lead even without that extra point. But that was not an easy catch by Cranston. You know, over that outside shoulder, it's where you teach the quarterback to get it, but it is tough to dial to bring in for the wide receiver. Get a chance to see what happened here. It's a little bit outside on that snap. Not too bad, but it's tough for that holder to get up off his knee and go get that.
All right, 7:36 to go here in the game, and a 20-6 lead for Middletown. More Friday Night Rivals after this.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, local high school football every Friday night. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928, offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery delivery 7 days a week.
All right, welcome back. Frank Carpano along with Kyle Rowley for the call of tonight's game. Middletown and Tolman in Pawtucket, and time for the original chimney sweep kickoff. And that ball gets loose, but looks like Tolman was able to retain it. And they will get a chance to try and move this ball down the field.
Make that call early, Frank. What'd you see?
I saw that the ball got away and then a red jersey falling on it.
that's a good
So,
way.
you know, I know it's a bit of a leap, but
This is tough. They almost lose it here. I was saying they should get down and pray.
Yeah.
See, that's where I lost it.
yeah. Well, I had a 50-50 shot.
I seemed confident. Well, Tolman will have to move quickly now. Now it's a matter of time. They are down by 2 scores, 14 points, taking the ball over in their own territory.
All right, the handoff goes to Darren Valentin around the right side. Flag flies. Based on where that flag came from, I'm guessing that it's probably going to be a holding call. Although the quarterback got rid of it pretty quick, so it's usually when.
That's coming back.
Yeah.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the original line. Still first down. 54, coach, 54.
Take a look at this again. And yeah, there you see. 54 just wrestled his guy to the ground.
Did he? Yeah, that's tough because you don't need it. It's a screen. You're not even at the point of attack. You want to just get it out there, bump your guy, let those wide receivers do their job blocking on the outside. So, you know, again, Tolman really just kind of fighting themselves here. It's just tough to do.
Shooting themselves in the foot. You know, both coaches talking about trying to avoid mistakes. Big one here for Tolman as they try and get back into this ball game here in the fourth quarter. Now the pass, Ortiz still looking for room, wiggling his way out and up to about the 34-yard line.
Nice little run there by Ortiz, really fighting for every yard. Could have been a minimal pickup, but see it here. Yeah, just gets that little wobbly pass out there on the screen. That's where you want to get to the outside. If you got to come inside for a second, get right back to the outside. So that's how you teach it right there. Players checking their wristbands. You know, this is where that no-huddle wristband offense comes in handy because you can get the plays out there quicker. You don't have to huddle up. Keep this moving. Try to get a quick 7 up on the board.
That one reeled in by Brian Leon by his fingertips.
It was a great catch. You know, it's not much of a gain. There's a little bit of a slant there by Leon on the. Watch the quarterback just 1-2, gets it in there. Great fingertip catch, like you said, and falls forward. It'll give him a manageable 3rd down. That's the good thing. Obviously, I think that, you know, everything's 4-down territory from here on out, so they'll have 2 chances at these 4 yards.
Quick pass off in the
Wow.
and dropped by number 4, Jaheim Tavares.
Yeah, I got to make that play. He's beside himself, really. Just knows that he should make that catch. And might get another chance at it right here as he looked a little bit uncovered on the play. Could have picked up the 1st down easily.
On 4th down now. Back to pass. Eluding the rush. Now tucking it in. Noah Taylor. Taylor trying to turn it up, and I believe that he got 1st down yardage. Good for him.
Good job by number 19 pulling his guy before he gets a penalty. Someone, you know, looked like one of the injured guys on the sideline for Tolman, but we'll see right here. Quarterback can't find anything. Nice nifty move and able to get forward, give up his body a little bit, gave up the ball too, but luckily that bounces out of bounds for the Tolman quarterback, Noah Taylor, the senior.
All right, they move the chains. 1st and 10 now. And
it's going to be 12.
Substitution, offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, you know, I think they're supposed to wait for that ball to be snapped because they could use a timeout if they recognize it, but he calls it a little bit early. They were running a player off the field.
You see it right here.
Yeah, they
22.
got 12 out there. 22's got to get off the field, and that's when he immediately throws it. But I don't believe there's a penalty until they snap the ball, and that's what Coach is arguing about. but they're going to have to absorb that because the refs, he doesn't have his ear.
First down and 15 to go.
First down and 15, and the pass. And pushed out of bounds on the near sideline. Pickup of a couple of yards on the play, but little chunks aren't going to do you a lot of good here with you trailing 20-6.
Yeah, a lot of time running off this clock. 4:18 right now, as you can see. Minimal pickup gets it to Darren Valentin. Darren obviously fighting. He's been fighting all game. You got to respect the way he runs the ball. Spread trips to the right side. Valentin behind him. He'll roll right. Good
Pass
timing. A little bit of
complete up at the 48-yard line. Still.
And the pass is complete.
Oh no, they ruled it incomplete.
Yeah, they're going to say he trapped it.
Let's take a look. No replay in high school football except for us.
We got it. I thought he caught it, but ref's got a good view.
Maybe he fell on top of it as he rolled. All right, third down, still long. 13 yards to go for a first down.
2 plays to pick up this 13 yards. The one thing that's tough about getting these plays from the sideline is it's a little bit stagnating because everyone's standing in the same spot for so long. There's no momentum of running up to the line of scrimmage, knowing that the rhythm of the game. It kind of halts all that a little bit. You speed up, but you also slow down in some ways.
There's the long pass, and that one is in and out of the hands of Jason Ortiz.
Dwayne Julius all over that. Ortiz did a good job going up, trying to get it at its high point, but Dwayne Julius, the junior DB, all over it. He's made some big plays in this game. We'll get a chance to see it. I thought the throw was pretty good. 1-2, two-step, put it out to a nice spot, a little bit inside, which allows Julius to get his hands on it.
We've talked where, when players huddle up, the play always comes in from the sideline, so there's always a bit of a delay. So what's the best way to expedite the calling of the play and snapping of the ball? Is it to have the play come in and then have a huddle, or is it to have, like Tolman has with the plays on their wrist?
Well, we'll watch this one real quick because it's 4th and 13. We'll see what they can dial. Now he's throwing well beyond below the sticks. And
yeah, that'll be pushed out of bounds. Emmett Talleray.
Yeah, Tarlay fighting for it, but so there's some times where you really do have to kind of throw beyond the sticks. I was going to say that one way to expedite the process is to have a quarterback that you trust to call some plays in a situation like this, where you don't have to relay it in.
All right, time now for our Ocean State Credit Union play of the game, and that goes to Dwayne Julius here. 15-yard touchdown reception as time expired in the first half.
This was a big turning point in the game, and quarterback makes a great throw right where you need to put it, and still a tough catch, and he comes up with it. That really kind of changed the momentum of the whole thing.
Well, that was key as the Middletown Islanders went in with a nice lead at the half and just built on it a little bit here in the second half and are closing in on a win over the Tolman Tigers on senior night here in Pawtucket.
Coach called Dwayne Julius a coach's dream when we talked to him on the phone during the week. Said he's come a long way. Also said, he was a scrawny kid, but has committed to the weight room and really, got his body all ripped up and ready to compete this season. And you see today that he's really making plays out there on offense and on defense. Whenever you have a big play, we've kind of called number 7's name.
All right, so first down and 10 now for Middletown as they just want to roll the clock down here. And the quarterback, as we've called his name so many times as a runner today, Dawson McGowan, keeps it for himself.
Yeah, I'd expect a lot more of that this drive. It's 3:22 on the clock. Quarterback has done the bulk of the running. You don't have to risk a handoff. You don't have to put the ball in the air. So I think they'll lean heavy on that to try to ice this game. Looked like timeout called.
All right, players will come to the sideline and strategize here. Tell you what, since we have a timeout, we are going to go to the South Shore Village Player of the Game. And drum roll, that is Patrick Cranston with an interception here in the first half that set up a Middletown touchdown.
Well, it was between him and Dwayne Julius. That interception, like we said, changed the trajectory of the game, and his buddy Dwayne Julius doing it with the touchdown. But right here, a fade route at a very important time to stretch their lead, and that's why Patrick Cranston is player of the game. He was the player to watch pregame, and he's made some big plays alongside number 7 and alongside number 12 on offense.
21-yard touchdown reception there that gave Middletown a 20-6 lead has helped us determine that he is the player of the game.
Doing it on offense and on defense. And that's what you earn.
Second down and 9.
Second down and 9 to go for Middletown.
Be nice to see Middletown put 7 more up right here on this drive and really kind of solidify it, get some momentum going into the Coventry game.
Keeping the ball on the ground here. Quarterback once again calling his own number, Dawson McGowan. And we have a timeout called by Tolman with 3:14 to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. So now we've got 3rd and 8. You know, like we talked about, it's safe to have McGowan take it up the gut every single time, but it's also predictable, and that's why we're in a 3rd and long situation. See how much they trust their quarterback to maybe put it in the air here, even though they all but have this game locked up. It's always interesting to see, you know, really how much trust you have and how really aggressive that play calling will be till the end, as he's got him on the sideline there talking it over.
Well, not a whole lot of time left here on for Tolman to try and get back into this game, especially with Middletown with the ball. 3rd down play coming up here with 3:14 to go.
Max Yates, the offensive coordinator for Middletown, he's a Salve quarterback, a guy that Coach talked about. When he was available, he called him right up, found out he was still living in Rhode Island, which was a surprise to him, and he needed to have him. And he's the guy calling the plays for Middletown, responsible for those 20 points. And I'd like to see them try to make it 27. I don't know if it's the smartest thing to do, but I want them to put it in the air right here.
All right, let's see what they do.
They're thinking it over.
You want to keep the clock rolling, though. Get this one over.
Well, you want to complete it. Complete it. Get down. Clock still rolls.
All right, still looking over at the sideline.
Let's see. There you go.
There you go. That's what you wanted.
Hey.
And it's intercepted by Tolman.
Pass is intercepted by number 2, Mason Ortiz.
And Mason Ortiz running it back, still going all the way, and he will stop in the end zone. Touchdown.
That is why you don't do that, Frank. That is why
you wanted the pass.
That is
you
why.
Called for the pass, and you see what happens now.
You don't do that ever. Hasten Ortiz makes a big play. It looks like we might have some laundry down on the field.
Oh, and it looks like this one may be coming back.
This is where the radios would help.
They picked it up.
They did pick up the flag. Okay.
Or, you know, Tolman's celebrating. That tells me they picked that up.
During the play, holding on the offense,
right.
That penalty is declined. The result is a touchdown.
There you go.
The original offense, Middletown. Yep. Well.
2012. As we take a look at the interception once again, that's a pick 6.
Yeah, some miscommunication there by Cranston and McGowan. Hasten Ortiz able to make a big play and makes that play even bigger by finding the sideline, and no one can catch him. And, well, I think we got a game, Frank, because that's 12 to 20 here. Got to get this extra point to make it.
They're going to go for 2. They don't kick extra points.
Yep. He's open.
Taylor. And that is good. So put 2 more points on the board. So 20-14. And that is an interesting score with 2:57 to go, because if Tolman can score again, we got a tie ball game. There you see.
They're working on their onside kicks earlier, so see if they can put one together. You wonder what makes an offense go for it in a situation like that. It's inexplicable. I'm just kidding. I applaud aggression. I still think they have this game in hand. You just got to secure this kickoff, hand the ball off a few times, get a first down or two, and I applaud the aggression. Yeah. But, it looked like there's some sort of miscommunication between Cranston and McGowan. It looked like he wanted to run a corner route, and he ran sort of a seam route. Ball was thrown way over the outside shoulder, and that's what allowed Ortiz to make the play, because it wasn't even contested. You saw Cranston just kind of run off. You'd like to see him try to put the brakes on and go up and play defense there for his quarterback, but maybe not able to. I'd like to see the replay again.
Let's take one more look at that pick six. The ball lofted up and then reeled in by Jason Ortiz.
Yeah, either way, I think that ball, whether it was a corner or a seam route, was a little bit underthrown, really kind of some double coverage. Could have probably checked it down to someone and made it a little bit safer throw instead of heaving it. But here we go.
Here we go, little onside kick coming up here. There it is,
Good
loose
play.
ball, and that one reeled in by number 20, Sean Williams, for the Islanders. So Middletown will take over here with under 3 minutes to play and leading it by 6 points.
Yeah, Tolman has a chance. If they go 3 and out here, they got a chance to get the ball back with a decent amount of time left in the game. Middletown, once they get a first down or two, that'll do it. But easier said than done. I think the front four and the linebacking crew of Tolman's done a great job all game. So it'll be tough to get first downs and without going outside, throwing a screen here or there, throwing a slant to Cranston or to Julius. So we'll see how conservative Middletown's offense comes out. A little bit of shell shock, I'm sure. Probably going to be a little conservative here. Take the quarterback off the left side.
And he is going to be dropped for a loss. So good pursuit there by the Tolman defense.
Yeah, you can see how quickly these linebackers get downhill into the ball. These defensive ends really haven't given up much all game. They've kept contained and forced the quarterback outside even when he's rolling out. And Sean Williams up in front of him. And, yeah, there's just too many guys in the backfield. You want to kind of keep those guys below the line of scrimmage, drive them obviously downfield instead of vice versa. Middletown will talk it over. You can see now like how many guys play both ways, and guys are gasping for air. They've got their hands on their knees. This is time when guys start to cramp up a little bit, but these are the times where you need your players to step up and make plays. With 2:47 left in the fourth quarter, this is where games are decided.
Yeah, it's been a long game, especially with so many guys playing both offense and defense here. And Jason Ortiz, who just returned that interception for 80 yards for the touchdown, so barely a chance to catch their breath, and their defense is back out there for Tolman. So they did a nice job on the pursuit of the quarterback on that first down play, and that drops Middletown for a loss. So it's second down and 12. Again, 2:47 to go.
Right where they want to be. It'd be nice to, well, we'll see what happens on second down. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Again, the quarterback finds some room this time, but he is dragged down just past midfield and into Tolman territory at the 46, 47-yard line.
Nice little run here. McGowan just straight downhill. And he'd like to see more pursuit on that one, because now, they are cross midfield. I think that they could actually go for it on fourth down. You hate to bring your punt team out and snap that thing between your legs backwards with the team that just ran back an interception for 80 yards. It's a precarious situation. Oftentimes your special teams aren't quite as polished as your offense and your defense. So it could be 4 down territory is all I'm saying there.
Well, it looks like they're going to run the clock down here. Inside of 2 minutes now. Maybe take a penalty.
I don't think they'll take the penalty. They'll call a timeout.
Do they have any left? It's not posted on the scoreboard. Yeah, they called a timeout. Timeout, Middletown.
Manageable 3rd and 4. They'll talk it over. Tolman right where they want to be, you know, given where they were 4 minutes ago. If they can just hold them here, they're going to force Middletown into a tough decision. You know, I'd venture to say Middletown's going to be very conservative in their play calling, maybe give it to McGowan off tackle, downhill, probably maybe come out in an empty set, so you got 5 wideouts. They have to respect it. I think Middletown can also audible to screens on the outside. If they don't bring enough guys outside the box, he can get it to Cranston on the outside by just audibling and tapping his helmet. But it's few and far between the quarterbacks that have that sort of ability and privilege in a time like this with 1:42 left in the game, up by 6. They come out, one running back in the backfield with them.
And dropped for a loss again. So good coverage on the play by the Tolman defense, but time is of the essence now, as we are 1:30 away from the end of this game.
Well, that makes it even harder. You know, who would expect it fourth and I'd say 6-7 yards here. Loss of yardage. This linebacking crew in front 4, 51 doing a great job right there. Joshua De Silva getting into the backfield, but there's many guys in the backfield on numerous plays for Tolman against Middletown's offense, and they are the offense is still huddled up. Quarterback talking it over with his coach on the sideline. Max Yates with a tough decision here. They're going to use all this clock, maybe burn another timeout, and then make a decision from there.
Inside of a minute, and again, another timeout. So 4th down coming up here for Middletown.
Timeout, Middletown.
Yeah, it looks like 4th and 7 from where I'm sitting. That's a big one. You know, but like I said, you know, it's tough in high school to snap that punt snap back there. Anything can happen on those. You could give it to them in the red zone if it goes over his head. So I just think that's a tough call. A lot of times I like to see a quarterback punt it here. Just take that shotgun snap and punt it, you know, real quick.
Punt, yeah.
Quick punt.
Nobody back, yep.
They won't expect it. The ball, hopefully you get a good little roll. But who knows if they have that type of play in their offense. That takes a certain type of quarterback that's able to pull that off. You know, to me, he's probably the type of guy that can do it. But that is not information we got out of the coach. We should put that on our list.
Okay, that'll be a question for next week.
We got their offense out there.
And the clock will stop on a change of possession.
Nope. Am I wrong? That's their punter. Punt team out there, number 5. Brady
Venancio. Snap, and he just gets it away. And that will bounce out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
He wants to call. He might have got hit a little bit back there and trying to talk to that ref about calling a hit on the kicker. But, you know, you can see there, even though he did get it off, you saw the snap started out a little bit high, looked a little precarious, come back down to earth, and the kick went straight out of bounds. So Tolman will take it from the 30 with 39 seconds left in the game. And one thing Middletown did a good job of is using every second of those play clocks.
Noah Taylor rolling out, avoiding the rush, but no, dropped. Great job on the play. I believe that was number 63 who got through. 69, that's Ty Butler, sophomore defensive lineman.
Yeah, Ty Butler in the backfield. Kind of a tough thing. You're rolling your quarterback to the left there. trying to have him throw deep balls is tough for the little guy.
All right, big arm throw and jump ball, and that'll go incomplete. That was intended for Hasten Ortiz.
6 seconds left. Yeah, just throwing into coverage there. Middletown's got more than enough deep defenders in the game. You're really just hoping Ortiz can go up there and make a play, and he almost does.
All right, likely one more play to go here in this game. And Middletown hoping to wrap up a 20-14 win to keep their hopes of a playoff spot alive.
And guess who's there? Dwayne Julius, and look like also Patrick Cranston on the defensive play. A lot of times you want to put your best wide receivers back on these Hail Mary type situations.
Here we go. Back to pass. Lets it go in the middle, and that's caught. And time has expired. So good effort there by Tolman. But time not in their favor as time expires here on a 20-14 win for Middletown. As we take a look at the final play once again. Unfortunately, the defense right on him after he caught the ball, and that will do it. So congratulations to Middletown. Coming up, our trophy presentation when Friday Night Rivals continues.
All right, I am here with the Middletown team and the Coach Kessler there. Look, it was exciting. You kept us on the edge of the seat right to the end. These guys put their heart into it, and so did the Tolman team. Talk to me about from your perspective.
Yeah, always a battle with this team. Tolman's a great team. We're both in must-win situations, so everything was left on the field. A lot of heart from both teams, and we did just enough to come out tonight.
Who do you have coming up next week, and what do you have to do? What do you have to focus on to get this team ready for them?
So we have Coventry. It's our senior night. We're home. We love all those factors, but it's going to be another tough game, and we absolutely have to have it again. So we went and saw them last week. They got some talent over there, so we got to put in a good week of work.
All right, Coach. Well, you guys are the winners tonight. There's the Champions Trophy. The Champions Trophy. Congratulations, Middletown. Frank, we'll send it back to you.
And that will do it for another edition of Friday Night Rivals. But before we go, we would all like to take a moment to thank our wonderful sponsor partners, Ocean State Credit Union, Eric George, DMD and Associates, and Patriot Roofing, who through their contributions to this program make these games possible for you to view at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsor supporters for their contributions to our 2024 Friday Night Rivals telecasts. Alpine Ski and Snowboard, The Original Chimney Sweep, Cardi's Furniture and Mattress, Euclid Financial Services, Rawlings Floor Covering, Prime Heating and Cooling, South Shore Village, and Priority Automotive Group. And we would especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support, Middletown High School and our host tonight, Tolman High School. Well, we have one more week of Friday Night Rivals to go, and next week we wrap up our coverage from Bristol. Mount Hope will take on North Providence. Until then, for Kyle Rowley, Ben